She was intoxicated when she confessed. I was never truly attracted to you, and I can't stop myself from seeing other men. Her words struck me with the force of a slap. While she lay unconscious, lost in the fog of her own indulgence, I made my decision. By sunrise, I was gone. No note, no goodbye. My name is Phil. I've always believed that hard work could mend nearly anything. It's how I was raised. Keep your head down, stay disciplined, and eventually everything will fall into place. That belief shaped my career. It shaped my values. Most of all, it shaped my marriage. For as long as I can remember, my life was an endless cycle of meetings, contracts, and obligations. I worked relentlessly, often returning home too exhausted to do more than offer a few tired words before falling asleep beside my wife. But I told myself it was worth it, that I was providing for us, building a life in which she would never want for anything. Even when I wasn't physically present, she was on my mind. I tried to show her I cared, through gifts brought home from business trips, through spontaneous weekend escapes meant to compensate for lost time. It wasn't perfect, but I believed she understood. After all, love isn't perfection. Love is effort. Or so I thought. Looking back now, I realize how misguided that belief was. I thought that the harder I worked, the deeper I loved. But something had shifted. Lately, she had grown distant, emotionally unavailable. At first, I dismissed it as routine, just a normal wear of marriage after 2 years. I chalked it up to stress or fatigue. Still, a quiet unease settled over me. I sensed something was wrong, but I wasn't ready to face it. Instead, I doubled down, working harder, trying more, believing that enough love and effort could repair what was breaking. I was wrong. When I felt us drifting apart, I decided to do something about it. I planned a romantic evening, just the two of us. I spent the afternoon in the kitchen preparing her favorite meal, chicken parmesan with garlic mashed potatoes. Just like our first date. Candles lit, lights dimmed, a playlist of the songs she used to play when she danced in the kitchen. Everything was a silent plea. See me? Remember us. I'm still trying. When she walked in, her eyes widened in surprise. Wow, she said, scanning the table. For a fleeting moment, I thought I saw something. Warmth, nostalgia, maybe even love. She kissed my cheek, took her seat, and smiled. We talked, laughed. For the first time in months, the silence between us was filled with something human. I thought, maybe, just maybe, we were finding our way back. Then came the third glass of wine. At first, it was subtle. Her body loosened. Her voice grew languid. Then came the shift. You're a nice guy, she said, swirling the wine in her glass. You make sure I'm okay. That's why I'm with you. I felt the ground shift beneath me. What do you mean? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She laughed gently, almost pitying. I've never been attracted to you. Not like that. Her words struck deep, but she didn't stop. She leaned forward, her chin in her palm, as if we were two friends trading harmless confessions. You're safe, predictable, sweet, but not my type. She then described what she was drawn to, men who were dangerous, unrefined, untamed, everything I wasn't. Then she said it. When I met someone like that, I couldn't resist. One thing led to another. She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't have to. I sat there listening, nodding, silently unraveling. She wasn't apologizing. She wasn't even remorseful. She was rationalizing. And in that moment, I understood I didn't need to argue. I didn't need to raise my voice. I didn't need to plead for something that was already gone. I just needed to listen, to absorb the truth, and then leave it behind. By dawn, I had disappeared from her life. Not out of anger. Out of clarity. Out of peace. When I went to bed that night, I knew without hesitation that there would be no turning back. Her words echoed relentlessly in my mind. That I wasn't her type, that she remained with me simply because I was a nice guy, and that she had found what she truly desired elsewhere. It wasn't just a betrayal that left a mark. It was the ease with which she admitted it. The casual cruelty in her confession. Lying beside her in the dark, listening to the gentle rhythm of her breathing, I felt no rage. Only clarity. There was nothing to argue about. No dramatic confrontation to stage. She had already shown me who she was, and I believed her. To respond with emotion would be to grant her the dignity of a debate, and she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve a fight. She didn't deserve closure. What she deserved was to feel the absence of what she had so easily discarded. By dawn, my mind was made up. I would be gone before she opened her eyes. I've never been the impulsive type. I am deliberate by nature, methodical, precise. That morning, I left the house as I always did, quietly, calmly, without a trace of disruption. But this time, I wasn't coming back. My first call was to my lawyer. I instructed him to draft the divorce papers immediately, with specific directives to separate our lives cleanly and completely. Next, I contacted my accountant, a sharp and discreet professional. Within hours, he began liquidating my shares in our joint investments. By nightfall, the accounts were closed and my assets securely consolidated. Then I made a final call to my family. I didn't share the full story. They didn't need it. All I asked was simple. Don't entertain her. Don't share my whereabouts. If she reaches out, tell her nothing. Let her face the weight of her choices, without interference, without comfort. Before the end of the day, my lawyer had prepared everything. Along with the papers, I left a message for her, one that would be delivered when she inevitably attempted contact. No explanations, no apologies, just the hard truth of what she'd lost. A few weeks later, she was served. According to my lawyer, she made several attempts to reach me, calls, messages, even showing up unannounced at his office. I remained silent. She asked for answers, for closure, but there was nothing left to say that hadn't already been said that night. At first, she refused to sign. I suppose part of her thought there was still something to salvage, or perhaps she simply feared losing the stability I had always provided. But when the financial terms became clear, she relented. Of course she did. In the end, she always chose what benefited her most. Just like that, it was over. When I walked away from that marriage, I wasn't thinking about revenge. I wasn't plotting what her life would become without me. All I wanted was freedom from the lies, the disrespect, the slow erosion of who I was when I stayed. She could have the life she chased. And for a time, it seemed like she did. New wardrobe, new men, nights out, the illusion of freedom, dressed in glamour and indulgence. I heard rumors, snippets from acquaintances who couldn't resist sharing. She even joked, apparently, that she was finally living the life she deserved. But people like her rarely think beyond the thrill of the moment. Life has a way of circling back. Eventually, one of her so-called freedoms caught up with her. She became pregnant. Unplanned, of course. I would never have expected anything else. The father disappeared the moment she told him. No calls, no support, no responsibility. Just silence. She was left to carry the weight alone. And the settlement money? She burned through it faster than I imagined. By the time the child arrived, she was buried in debt. She was forced to sell the house. Once ours, now only hers. It was the last remnant of the life we built together. Her friends? They evaporated just as quickly. Fair-weather companions, drawn to her when life was effortless, vanished when she needed them most. The truth is, people like her attract others just like them, surface deep, self-serving, and unreliable. When the laughter faded and the bills arrived, no one stuck around. She got what she wanted. Freedom. But freedom without value, without integrity, without foresight, comes with a price. She lost everything that mattered because she never once paused to cherish it. Do I feel sorry for her? No, but I'm not rejoicing either. I don't sit in the dark rubbing my hands, pleased by her misfortune. I simply feel free, and that is enough. I just didn't care anymore. She was a chapter one had closed, sealed, and buried long ago. Some people think they're running from something, when in reality, they're charging straight into a wall. That was her. She ran. And when she hit that wall, there was no one left to catch her. Years passed. My life moved forward, not in some loud, dramatic flourish, but with quiet, steady momentum. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. Then one day, she found me. I was at home, sitting by the window with a book in hand, when the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone, but when I opened the door, there she stood. She looked nearly the same. Polished, poised, still carrying that air of confidence I once mistook for strength. Our eyes met. Hers were steady, searching, waiting to measure my response. But seeing her again stirred nothing in me, just a cold, quiet detachment. I didn't know how she found me. I didn't care. All I felt was revulsion. She hesitated, as if hoping for permission to speak. I gave her none. Still, she began. Her voice cracked from nerves or guilt, maybe both. "I've been trying to find you for years," she said, voice trembling. I needed to say I'm sorry. I made a terrible mistake, and I've paid for it every day since. I said nothing, just leaned on the doorframe and watched her squirm. "I thought I could have it all," she continued. "I thought I could chase excitement and still keep your loyalty. But I was wrong. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone." Her words poured out in fragments, desperate, disorganized. She spoke of the aftermath, failed relationships, mounting debt, and aching loneliness. She admitted she'd been left pregnant and abandoned. Her voice cracked as tears streamed down her face. "Please, I need you. I've never stopped needing you." I looked at her, really looked at her, and leaned forward slightly, locking eyes with the woman who once dismantled me. My voice was calm, cold, final. "You made your choice," I said. "You were never attracted to me, remember? I wasn't your type." A flicker of pain crossed her face. "Then go find your type and see if he wants you now." She flinched, but I wasn't done. "I don't care about your regrets. I don't care how much you've suffered. That's yours to carry, not mine. Don't ever show your face to me again." Then I stepped back, closed the door, and walked away, without hesitation, without guilt. I didn't need explanations. I didn't need apologies. That part of my life was over, and I had no intention of reopening it. As I walked away, I reflected on the man I had become. Yes, losing her had shattered me. I had been broken in ways I didn't know a person could break. But in that wreckage, I rebuilt. Quietly, patiently, completely. And sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone who betrayed you is your silence, your absence. And the greatest gift you can give yourself is walking away without looking back. In losing her, I found myself, and that, I realized, was the only closure I would ever need. Now, let me ask you something. Honestly, what would you have done? Imagine planning a romantic dinner, something to reignite the spark in your marriage, only to have your wife, glass in hand, casually tell you that you were never her type. Imagine her laughing as she confesses to seeing other men behind your back. What would you do? Would you stay and fight for someone who never fought for you? Or would you walk away? I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. But let me tell you what I've learned the hard way. When someone shows you they don't respect your love, your time, or your dignity, you don't argue. You leave. Because the truth is, people treat you the way you allow them to. And if someone can betray you once without consequence, they will do it again and again. Leaving isn't easy. It's painful. It's isolating. It's full of doubt. But staying with someone who makes you feel small, that's a far greater loss. I know the fear. I know what it's like to stare at the ceiling at night, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. But I also know this. Being alone is better than being unloved. And when you finally walk away from the person who couldn't see your worth, you make space for something better, even if that something is just peace. So if this is where you are, on the edge, uncertain, let me say this. You are worth more than someone else's excuses. You are worth more than their regret. And you are allowed to choose yourself every single time. Thank you for listening.